Oh dear. Nope. Down. When he goes back, he's doing the beam. What? That hit my shoe. My shoe. The most important part of my body. Yeah, I know that. Nope. Oh, timing. Timing was so awful for me there. Pummel him. That didn't do anything. No. Oh no. What? That was... He went back. What's the... Okay, so I don't actually have to... Okay. What are you gonna do? No, that was that one. Blue mouth. I rolled. Stand by his foot. Blue, 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 blue. Blue mouth? No. No, that he went back. He went back. He figured that out. Like, he goes back. There we go. Ah, what? I dodged. I think I did. Stand by his foot. Stand by his foot. Yes! Woo! I got loads of achievements, so I'm guessing you're beaten, Calica. In your face, Calica. I just beat you, Calica. I beat you. Me! Me! I'm terrible at this game and I beat you. Ha! Don't count how many times he beat me, because I'm not sure this number's that high. Whew. I have the power of reloading. That was a thing. I got a thing. Wait, what? I'm gonna get... What? I'm getting a collectible now? What? What? Interact. I grab. Oh, sad music. Aww. That looks creditsy. So it looks like that's the end. No happy ending for Juan, apparently. Although he's smiling there. That was interesting. I think in some ways you had to beat certain characters with certain abilities. You had to jump around and do different things. Oh, I've got to use this attack to do this, and then this attack to do this. And I think maybe it's because I was using a controller, but there were some points where, I mean, certainly in this session and other sessions, where I'd want to go directly up using the uppercut, but it would go over to the right or over to the left. Or it would actually go, no, you don't want to do that. You want to do the dashing attack. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go up, not left or right. And and it just seemed like in some ways maybe the analog stick was actually a detriment in that particular aspect. Like I think a lot of this game you wouldn't have needed it. You basically just needed left, right, jump, and crouch. So yeah, there are some aspects where I don't think the control system was as good as the game needed. Okay, she's dead then, I'm guessing. Then again, I think, oh yeah, so are we. I think. Calico was saying he killed us. Ah. Hard difficulty is now available. That's not happening. I'm 11,002nd. Okay. There are still some hidden secrets to be found. A winner is you. Yeah, so I could keep going. Because I think there are a few little areas we could have pushed down in that little in the mine area. We could have pushed through there. I do like the fact that there's loads of hidden areas that you can investigate. Like I could go back to it, couldn't I? I do like the fact that there's loads of different areas to investigate, and they use the different powers. Like, we could go back to some of those areas now. Like, there were some areas where I think we couldn't go much further because we didn't have, like, the dash attack or this attack or whatever. I mean, I don't normally 100% things. I got through the story. That's good enough for me. I think there were some parts where the game seemed to just arbitrarily just go, now we're going to do a difficult section. Maybe it's just because I'm bad at games. That's entirely possible. But I'm not sure I like when you get difficulty potholes or ridges. I don't know, whatever it is, where you get that kind of spiky difficulty. So the difficulty should kind of be this kind of keeping up with the player's skills and the character's skills in this case, and I don't think it did that particularly well, in some senses. I did quite like it. I might try another kind of, at some point I might do another Metroidvania-y type game where you're doing that investigation and using new skills and going back and whatever. Not sure when, not sure what it'll be. But yeah, I think there were a lot of points where I got angry at the game, and I think some of it, let's be honest, some of it was I'm bad at games, some of it was I think that difficulty, arbitrarily just difficulty spike kind of thing. This like, oh, now this is difficult, which I'm not a huge fan of in games. Like, just build up and keep up with the player. Yes, stretch the player, but there were times where it's like, now it's going to be really difficult, now it's going to be not so difficult, and it seemed like, I mean, admittedly, you're probably going to end up with that, thinking about it with an exploration type game anyway, so maybe there's that aspect to it. I think another part was the fact that it was the control system, and I don't know if it's because I was using a controller with an analog stick, where some of the inputs weren't coming across exactly as I intended them to. So there might be some aspect there where the controller is actually detrimental to this. I used a controller because it does suggest you use one, but I'm not sure how good the analog stick actually is for a game like this, or for this game, with the various attacks being mapped to using that. I mean, maybe you could use the D-pad instead, and I probably maybe should have done if I'd thought about it while I was playing. So that you've got an accurate up, an accurate down that isn't really bothered by left and right, which I'm illustrating by pressing the left and right buttons on my D-pad, but of course there aren't any left or right options. So there's a few different things as to why I think I got frustrated. I think the B button, maybe I was pressing it on some situations or holding it in some situations rather than just kind of tapping it and getting one B. So it would go, oh, you're doing another B. Okay, well, I'll do another B attack then. Okay. So I think there are a few issues with the control. Maybe the controller I'm using. Maybe it's particular to this, or maybe it's a general controller thing. Maybe it's just me being bad at this kind of thing. And I don't really do many kind of like attacky, beat 'em up, actiony things. This is like the first one I think I've done on the channel. And people will probably comment, yeah, there's a reason you're really bad at them. So we know, it's obvious. I did quite like the story. I see they've just come out with Guacamelee 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually get that one. I think Guacamelee 1, I do quite like that there's that wrap-up at the end with the story. I think it kind of finishes itself. I'm not sure narratively for this there is room for a Guacamelee 2 from a narrative perspective. And I think for me, mechanically, I think I've just said I've got some issues with it, which might just be me being rubbish at games. I'm not sure getting a brand new version of this is going to really help beyond that. So, not sure what's going to happen. Not sure what's going to come after this. I'll have to have a fiddle through, kind of look through some of my library and see what options we've got for the next thing. But yes, so it was fun. I mean, I did get annoyed at some points, but I've been getting annoyed at some other games that I've played before and not been getting annoyed at. So maybe there is an aspect of I'm annoyed with myself because I'm not fully focused on the game because I'm, commentating and stuff to try and be entertaining and probably failing miserably at that. Who knows? Well, you probably do. Actually, if you're watching this, you're probably willing to say I'm entertaining. Mad people, the lot of you. So, yes, quite like the story. Let's try and go through. Yeah, I quite liked the story. I liked going into the different areas and seeing things. I did like actually the kind of dimension shift ability you got and how that was used to solve some of the platforming and puzzles. I thought that was really quite clever in some situations. The chicken ability, it just let you go through smaller spaces. I mean, meh. Maybe there are other things going on with the chicken, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, the mine area was called the Caverna del Pollo, which is chicken. So it's the cave of the chicken. So maybe we would have gotten some more connection to the chicken there and more abilities for it there. But I mean, the main thing for the skills was, apart from, I mean, you got the goat run and the goat fly, which I think was used and you had to. It just kind of get over gaps and stuff. Although I did quite like the way that we used the goat climb in like the last couple of things, where you use it and you hop onto another thing to use it on to hop onto another thing, and you keep going and going and going up and up and up, hopping onto another thing after you've finished on that wall, which I thought was quite good. I thought that was quite clever. But apart from the dimension shifting, a lot of the abilities were just, here is a wall, smash it in a different way, which I think doesn't have that same kind of cleverness in puzzle solving, or it just arbitrarily blocks things off, which I think is probably what Metroidvania does. You go and get a thing, you come back and you do things. Yeah, I did like you didn't have to fight all the enemies necessarily. There are some areas you did, and some areas you didn't, which was very good, because I could just run past them and ignore them. I'm not sure what all the money and the silver was for. Okay, with silver, I mean, I think we had 30 silver at the end, with the devil in the end. Having bought the devil suit. To keep having that health, I think that was really quite useful. To keep having health. We had lower health overall, so a few hits could kill us if we couldn't get health back, but we could get that health back, and I think that was quite a good choice. But other than that, I'm not sure how useful the other costumes are. Again, to make the point, I didn't use all the costumes. I used the base costume in that one, in case you have only joined us for the credits. So I don't know about those ones. I'm not sure how useful the throws, like we upgraded the throws, I'm not entirely sure how useful that was. I think that's kind of the problem. If you're going to have an upgrade system like that, I think it has to kind of, in some ways, be quite clear they're upgraded. And I don't think I ever really got the feeling of, oh wow, this throw is upgraded, this suplex is upgraded, the power drive is upgraded, or whatever. I know they're upgraded because I upgraded all the throws. But, yeah. I think I would have liked it if instead of doing the suplex backwards, you could turn around and do a boot backwards. But I'm not sure maybe how you'd code in the difference between the two, unless you had a button press to turn around while throwing, and then you could kick. So there is that. yeah. I think I was actually doing a bit of a wrap-up and saying I like the story in this, and then I started drifting again. I like the story, some of the controls were a bit wonky, some of the upgrades weren't necessarily clear in the fact you got the upgrades. Some of the puzzles were really nice. I did like the times when you had to keep thinking about the dimension shift. Like, that was always something you had to be thinking about. I mean, sometimes you had timing to work with. Like, actually, the last one, I think one of the last ones we had, where you've got the spikes and I kept trying to jump through and it didn't work. And then you jump onto it, and then you phase shift and kind of jump onto the next one and onto the next one. I think that was also quite clever. A good puzzle should be one that's kind of obvious when you think about it, but can lead you in different ways, especially when you've got all the different abilities we had. So I think that was really clever, because I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm meant to jump through as far as I can, and then do the dash attack to go a little bit further across, which would not have gotten us all the way across. So I think there were some good puzzles there. Combat is not my strong suit, but that's true in every game. Narrative, I think, was really good. But I'm not sure how they can fit in a sequel to that, other than, I mean, just, I don't know. Because by the looks of it, we're playing Juan again, but his story's over. Like, he's dead. That's what the ending was. He's dead. So unless he's summoned back, I don't see how that's going to work. But it'll be interesting to see at some point, but I have not got it, and I've got a load of old games to be thinking about, so I don't really want to go out of my way to get a brand new one. So yes, there we go. Guacamelee, all the way through. Don't think we're going to do any extra completion stuff. That's not normally my style. I get to the end of the story, I enjoy it, and I waffle over the credits, and the main menu when the credits run out. So there we go, Guacamelee. Yeah, generally a good game. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed parts of it. Let's be honest. I think I've enjoyed everything kind of on balance. Like, I've come away from a session and thought maybe I shouldn't have been a bit harsh on that. Shouldn't have been a bit as angry, and it's been enjoyable. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in whatever the next Let's Play is. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.